Hey guys, we have a full moon in Pisces that we need to talk about coming into fruition this week, although I'll tell you, it may feel a bit more like actually a full moon in Capricorn because the moon is going to be in a pretty tight conjunction to Saturn. So we're going to be talking about some Saturnian vibes coming through for this full moon, and that may be a part of our experience over the next couple of weeks, but let's get the basics of this full moon out of the way. Whenever we have a full moon going on, first of all, this is an energetic climax, right? When the sun and the moon come into their exact opposition each month to the degree, to the minute. For this full moon, we are looking at actually 7 degrees and 25 minutes of the signs of Virgo and Pisces, where this full moon is taking place. In this report, we will be talking about the degrees 8 degrees of Virgo and Pisces as we symbolically look at the degree placement of this full moon, because on this channel we read the Sabian symbols, you guys, and whenever we are looking at the symbolism associated with any degree placement, we always round up. And for those of you who are new to my channel or unfamiliar with the Sabians, what they are is a group of symbols that describe each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. And whenever we are analyzing astrology, looking at aspects, planetary placement, whatever, we can look at this symbol associated with whatever degree a planet is discharging, and it can just give us sort of an extra layer of symbolic interpretation to kind of use as an overlay in the context of whatever the aspect might be bringing to us as well. So I'm always looking at the symbolism associated with the aspects, the transits, and how things are playing out. But anyways, the reason why I'm saying that right now is because, as I said, when we read the symbolism, we read the wave of energy, the degree energy that is pulling in and that is beginning to manifest, not the energy that is waning out and that is dissipating. So with this full moon taking place at the exact polarity aspect of 7 degrees and 25 minutes, we're going to be looking at 8 degrees of Virgo and Pisces once we get into the symbolism associated with our full moon as well. Also, this is going to be happening depending where you are in the world on either Wednesday, August 30th or Thursday the 31st, very early hours. Universal time, the exact to the moment opposition between the sun and the moon is 1:36, which translates into 9:36 p.m. on Wednesday the 30th Eastern time, where I am and where I'm doing this reading. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk now about the vibes that are really associated with this full moon as it's coming into fruition, as it's, coming through in the moment, but also a full moon. This is going to impact the last 2 weeks of our lunar cycle. The full moon is really the midpoint in any lunar cycle. And let us not forget, you guys, we are in the midst of a quite significant and very interesting, revealing lunar cycle right now. We are in a new moon in Leo that happened to occur an exact square to Uranus, letting us know that there was going to be a very unexpected dimension to what could be playing out throughout the course of this 4-week lunar cycle. Uranus is the planet of sudden shocks, surprises, but also really awakens us to things. And it ultimately is all about removing blockages to true authentic potential. Uranus is a planet that is associated with the future, with destiny, and with the process of getting there, and with recognizing the potential for that existing, especially now that we have Uranus retrograde as well, existing internally. There's going to be a lot of, and there probably have been a lot of internalized awakenings that have gone on since we had our new moon in Leo 2 weeks ago now, and they're gonna continue to come throughout the course of the rest of this this lunar cycle. But right now, this is a kind of a more difficult full moon that we have going on. And although it is a Pisces full moon, it is giving a lot more of a Capricornian flavor. And that is because of this conjunction to Saturn. Saturn right now is at Saturn is at 4 degrees of the sign of Pisces. Actually, interestingly enough, how I said when we're looking at the Sabian symbols, we round up a degree. So when I'm talking about the degree placement of Saturn, I'm speaking about 4 degrees because Saturn is actually at 3 degrees and 33 minutes. 333 exactly at the moment of our full moon. And if you guys have been following my channel, you know I pay close attention to numerology as well. There's something about the relationship components of our lives. And you know, it makes sense also with the South Node in the sign of Libra, and with Venus retrograde right now and a square to Jupiter and having squared Uranus, going to be making, you know, the 3 squares to Uranus that Venus is making, and her transit through the sign of Leo this summer, which has really been about getting back in touch with the truth of our heart. There is something, you know, and I'm saying this because of how I'm interpreting the numerology of the degree placement of Saturn. But like I said, this is repeating and repeating through other planetary configurations and symbolism and just stuff that we have going on energetically right now as well. But this, you know, Saturn retrograde at 3 degrees and 33 minutes of the sign of Pisces in the conjunction to the full moon, which, like I said, is at that 7 degrees and 25 minutes. So there is a very close orb between Saturn and the moon for our full moon. But 333, this is about the group, okay? This is about collaboration. This is about people and like minds sort of coming together in a very creative way. And with Saturn ruling like obligation, duty, commitment, retrograding, this is also making me think, again, in alignment with the South Node's transit through the sign of Libra right now, in square to Pluto, and like a bunch of other stuff that we have playing out, there is some release from commitments to a group or an organization or some social dimension or group-oriented dimension of things that we've been responsible for or obliged to or kind of like cemented to, very committed to, going through perhaps a breakdown process throughout the course of this full moon energy as it's unfolding as well. So that actually just came to my mind as I was looking at the degree placement. So wanted to bring that up. But anyways, you know, with the moon and Saturn being in this tight conjunction for this full moon, even in the sign of Pisces, I will also tell you guys sort of like right off, one of the most positive ways that we can use this more difficult energy, because I mean, Saturn has a tendency of, you know, bringing just an air of pessimism because it narrows our focus along the lines of like what is wrong or where our weaknesses are, and it can make us more critical or judgmental, and it can just lead to feelings of like isolation and an inability to connect and an inability to relate, and you know, just feeling sort of like the against the world, like us against the world, you know what I mean, or like the weight of the world is kind of on our shoulders. So it can be sort of a very burdensome experience and feeling, especially when we have a moon, especially a full moon, coming into a conjunction with Saturn. But the thing is, Saturn is retrograde and Saturn is in the sign of Pisces. Saturn's all about commitment, you guys, right? Pisces, what is this? Pisces is the spirit world. Pisces is our faith, okay? Working and trying our hardest to have a commitment to Saturn retrograde, like recommitting ourselves to or restructuring the foundation of our faith and the role that our faith plays in supporting us through the midst of uncertainty. And again, this Uranian energy, like, you know, things not being as they appear, and also a lot of fears perhaps could be surfacing in this energy. The best thing that we can do, the best way that we can use our energy, the best way that we can, you know, focus our energy in this full moon is on, you know, recommitting to or restructuring the foundation of, like I said, our own faith, our own spiritual connection, and allowing ourselves to go through, you know, maybe the awakenings or the like mindset shifts that are necessary at this point in time to align us with essentially that which is a higher truth for ourselves and that which we feel more intuitively connected to on those deeper levels, and that like resonates with us more in a way that like makes us feel more spiritually strong, spiritually supported, and capable of facing, you know, perhaps the unknown moving forward. Okay, so I feel like that, I mean, Saturn is the teacher, the judge, the disciplinarian, self-discipline along the lines of like really committing or recommitting to our faith in a way that is not detrimental to our growth. And, you know, we may have to go through some type of transformation or some type of an awakening or some type of recalibration in terms of how we are, you know, our spiritual connection and how we are connecting to a higher power in order to regain this sense of security and comfort and stability, okay, from Pisces, like the spiritual world, the higher planes. But this is a lesson that we need to gain throughout this period of time as well. And if we work towards it, and if we, you know, kind of focus on that instead of maybe focusing on what's not working or what's not right, I think that we are likely to, you know, like everything has to do with our own frequency, right? Everything has to do with our own vibration and energy. We are likely to just keep ourselves in a higher vibration so that we attract less resistance in a time that could be kind of characterized by a lot of resistance going on, because that's another thing that Saturn does, right? So, you know, we need to consider all the different dimensions of the Saturnian energy, and we need to do our best to see, you know, what we're up against right now is our next assignment, our next lesson, and how we can complete the tasks before us to the best of our ability. That's the best, I feel like, mind frame that we can have moving through this energy. But again, that being said, it is probably going to be a time of some pretty heavy energy, some pretty heavy feelings. We may be feeling quite down on ourselves. We're talking about the moon. This is our feelings. This is our emotions. This is, you know, our internal environment with Saturn. Saturn, like I said, it narrows our perception a lot of times to focus specifically on like that which is not right, like that which is wrong, that which is out of alignment. It can give us very critical judgment. It can make us very self-critical and just like kind of feeling down on ourselves, like feeling bad about ourselves, like feeling like we're not measuring up as well. And, you know, the Pisces Virgo polarity, like that's tough because Pisces, this is all that is unseen, right? This is all that is like intangible and like very unorganized and very like just ethereal, right? But then we're talking about Virgo, which is essentially like the exact opposite of that. This is a very grounded, practical earth sign that wants like all the ducks in a row and all the T's crossed and the I's dotted and the details and the, you know, very much more like organized and like tangible and linear. And the fact also right now that we have Mercury ruling the sign of Virgo, also in Virgo, but retrograde, that also sort of messes with the Virgo energy. And it can just be a very frustrating time where we feel like we can't move forward or we can't get a clear answer. Communication, like this could really be like blocking or disrupting communication, the ability for like paperwork to get filed and things to move forward. I mean, honestly, like this full moon, Pisces, Virgo in a conjunction to Saturn is putting it's like Mercury retrograde on crack right now. I would, you know, major delays to plans, to goals, to forward movement, to like putting things into proper processes, to, you know, also like harvests are likely to be delayed at this point in time and they could lead to some type of great frustration. And that's why I'm saying, you guys, like fighting against it, like having an expectation that things are going to go a certain way. Most significantly, trying to control outcomes of things when they are just clearly out of our control right now. This is not what is going to, you know, move things in our favor. This is what is going to create greater resistance. And, you know, the more we struggle against it, it's sort of like quicksand energy. The best thing that we can do, again, the moon in Pisces, okay, surrender the burden to a higher power with our commitment to our faith. I'm telling you guys, like that is the best way to emotionally and energetically navigate the energy right now. And again, the main things that we are looking at for this full moon is the conjunction to Saturn, and then the fact that we also have 7 planets retrograde. Mercury, you know, ruling the position of the sun for our full moon is one of them. Neptune ruling the position of the moon, you know, Pisces for our full moon is another one. We got Uranus just stationed retrograde the other day, so Uranus vibes are super strong right now as well. It is just like the past could definitely be coming up in some significant ways, and with the Saturn energy as well, there could be fears that are surfacing from the past, but we cannot let our fears control us. Now, back to this whole, health and well-being, these themes that are also present when we have a strong Virgo Pisces vibe going on. As I've been saying, as I just mentioned a minute ago, this energy that we've had playing out over this past few days has been setting us up sort of, collectively for just some lowered energy, lower vitality, lower immune response levels at this point in time. We have had a Mars-Neptune opposition. That is one aspect that does that. And we've also had a Sun-Saturn opposition from Pisces and Virgo, which also really is going to have a tendency to break down physical health and well-being levels generally. That's why I was saying, we really need to take good care of ourselves moving through the month of August and moving into this energy. And this still is going to apply throughout the rest of the this Leo cycle over this next couple of weeks as this full moon plays out, because again of the presence of Saturn next to our full moon. But I do want to say, it's not surprising that a lot of fears may be sort of popping up right now in a very collectivized way, having to do with the past and also having to do with the emergence of, these lower vitality levels, which can lead to rises in illnesses and stuff at this point in time. But I do want to say, and I really do firmly believe this, things are not going back to how they were before. The fears that we may be experiencing now about the past coming back along the lines of, health and well-being generally, I do not think that I think that is more of an illusion than it is a reality, despite any type of narrative projections or overlays that might currently suggest that is something that we need to be worried about. I don't feel that way. I think the major themes right now are different than they have been in the past. And we have all this retrograde energy that's playing out. And I can also say, nothing that is implemented in this energy right now is going to have any staying power because of all the retrograde stuff that we have going on. There's such an emphasis, right, on the past, on reliving the past, on the past coming back around. However, whatever is implemented in all the retrograde energy, it can't, it's not going to work properly. It's going to need to be, reorganized or reevaluated or reconfigured or something, because when we have all this backward motion planets, when you try to move something forward, it's not going to have that streamline effect. And we also are in different energy right now, than we were. There is a different collective mission right now than there was over this past couple of years, with the North Node now transiting the sign of Aries. This is, and with the Sun and Saturn in opposition as well, this is really bringing up serious themes of the individual versus authority, okay, and power struggles and clashes of wills and clashes of interests, and even clashes of classes of people, also with the Saturn Sun energy going on. But with all the retrogrades and the major emphasis on the past, I do feel like the outcome will not be a reliving of the past. I think we are in the process of a great revealing. I think we're in the process of a great awakening, and the age of submission and submitting to any type of group context is over, also with the South Node now in the sign of Libra. And also our transition out of the age of Pisces, which was also an age about submitting to this, submitting to the group and all schooling together, okay? So we are now North Node transiting the sign of Aries. We are now in our personal leadership eras, and we are going to start recognizing on a vibrational level, internally, that we feel called and compelled to some type of personal mission over this next year and a half as the North Node completes his transit of the sign of Aries. And another dimension of this experience that we're going through right now is people awakening to and taking back personal power. So I don't see vibrationally that the past repeats itself. I don't think that we really truly have anything to be worried about in the context of collective health concerns really playing a dominant role moving forward through the course of this next year. We are in a time right now of just generalized lower vitality. However, nothing that is initiated right now is truly having any type of staying power. And again, while we may be re-experiencing or, really caught up in some themes of the past at this point in time. It's more to learn about it, to gain a greater understanding about it, to awaken to some things, to gain some, revelations. We are beginning to see inside the machine, okay? The rules of the game are changing, and we're not going to be backing down at this point in time, and we're not going to be controlled by like an urge to submit to any type of group or social conditioning going forward. So yeah, this is likely to be kind of an overwhelming period of time. We are likely to feel overburdened in a lot of ways. Our duties, our responsibilities, our obligations, rules, restrictions, authority, work could be weighing really heavy on us. There could be a lot of obstruction, restriction, authority issues, blockages to our progress, to our forward movement and momentum, to our ability to it's this Virgo energy, it's this harvest energy to complete a task, to achieve an outcome, to complete a goal, or to just get something done that we've been working towards, to gain a benefit from that which we've been putting our energy into. And again, it may really feel like there is just everything stacked against us at this point in time. Like there is just this abominable force that we can't overcome. Again, like the weight of the world is on our shoulders, or it's like us against the world type of energy. But no fear, you guys. That is the trick, okay? That is the deception. That is like the ploy. That is that's the illusion in this Piscean energy. The illusion is that we are not in control, but the truth is that we are in control. And we're actually going through a process of taking back our personal power through an internalized awakening to who we really are, what we really stand for, what we really value, and the motivation that we are gaining to do something new, to make a change. Remember, we are also in some very dynamic times of some very epic and substantial and lasting change. And things are definitely, though, this is energy that really could bring things to a head and create a scenario, set the stage for more of this breakthrough, break free revolution type of energy going on. It's real interesting. For our new moon that we are halfway through right now, that was in exact square to Uranus. Like I said, Uranus is the modern ruler of the sign of Aquarius, and our full moon halfway through that cycle is in a conjunction to Saturn, who is the ancient traditional ruler of the sign of Aquarius. So it's like both the planets that are associated and that rule Aquarius are the significant energies that are impacting the lunar cycle that we are in right now, as we just had Uranus station retrograde in the sky. The Uranus energy is so strong, and we are really in the thick of this transition of ages right now. If you guys if you've been following me for a while, if you watch my channel a lot, that I'm always talking about astrology through the lens of how the day-to-day activations are actually playing a greater role in transitioning us into the age of Aquarius. Because from my understanding energetically, humanity actually anchors in the new age through how our own energy bodies are recalibrated as a result of the transits and activations that are coming in at this point in time. It's like we're being upgraded energetically to be a resonant match, okay, for what is the age of Aquarius energy and frequency. And so as we go through that process, as we anchor these new vibrations, as above, so below, into the 3D reality, we actually play our role in creating the age of Aquarius. And, the buffer between ages is long, it's multi-hundred years, but we've been in this buffer period for quite a while, and we're really getting into the party starting, you guys. We're really in the heat of this transition of ages, and things are going to start happening. And we know that because of the emphasis on the planet Uranus right now at this period of time and moving through this 2024 year. We know that because of, what's been going on with the nodes and the square to Pluto and these grand crosses that we've had lining up. And the Saturn Uranus square that has been in effect over this past couple of years, that has been breaking us through in that direction as well. Just so much energy going on over this past couple of years. Really, really very focused moving through 2024 into 2025. And, you know, Pluto is about to be entering the sign of Aquarius as well coming up here. That is going to be a 20-year catalyst that really, in a very powerful way, transitions us into this new Aquarian energy. So we're at a, you know, if things feel like they're coming to a head, if things feel like they're coming to a breaking point, if things sort of feel like they're coming to the point of no return, especially along the lines of relationships or the past versions of ourselves, or, you know, again, Saturn, who is in conjunction to this moon, right, at the 333, like, what groups are no longer an energetic match for us? What identity have we been wearing or have we been associating with that we're coming to discover now is not true and authentic to us, and has been acting more as a blockade or a barrier to our cultivation of our own potential and activation of our own destiny? And, you know, what do we need to detach ourselves from now in order to move forward in that direction, which really serves our soul, unlocks our potential, and helps us to fulfill our personal mission over this next year and a half? With an Aries North node, all of us have a duty, a mission, a purpose, a goal, a battle over this next year and a half that is crucial to our soul's evolution and development. It's leadership era, okay? It's time to, you know, be our own spiritual warrior for truth, to stand up for ourselves, and to be able to walk away from anything or anyone that would try to, like, hinder us from going through that process. With the South Node in the sign of Libra, it's a period of time of, you know, self versus others in a lot of ways, not in a destructive way, but in, well, you know, Uranus is lightning hitting the tower. You know, the destruction will take place according to, you know, the universal blueprint and what needs to happen in order to make the changes for us that maybe we haven't been able to make for ourselves. But it's also a very, very creative time of, you know, self-development and gaining confidence and overcoming weaknesses. And that's another thing that this moon is going to show us. It's going to show us, you know, with that very critical lens, where our weaknesses lie, where we can do better, where we're falling short, where we're not putting in our greatest effort, you know, where we are, like, lacking discipline and lacking self-control and stuff like that. And, you know, again, where we need to recommit to ourselves to move forward, to complete the goals or the tasks or whatever we're working towards right now. And again, most importantly, I feel like where we need to recommit to our faith as the groundwork of our success in the physical, or, you know, not even success, but just like of our, you know, our foundation of, you know, our physical 3D experience, and how that actually really can benefit us to surrender the burden and move forward with the faith that things are working for us despite whatever appearances may be going on at this moment as well. So, you know, a lot of whatever the issues are that seem to be coming at us right now, we're going to be taking things very seriously, but we don't want to get down on ourselves. A lot of them are going to come to naught, right? A lot of them are just going to dissipate. We're also talking about this Pisces energy with the Saturn energy. Like, Pisces breaks things down, it erodes things, it washes things away. All this Mercury retrograde, especially like threats and stuff that people are, you know, maybe dishing out at this point in time. Don't put a whole lot of faith in that type of stuff. And also, like, contracts and agreements and, like, I don't know. I would not put a whole bunch of faith in really much that anyone is saying at this point in time. And again, it's really about, like, getting in touch with our own intuition, with our own gut feelings, with our own personal truth. Uranus now retrograde, and awakening to the truth of, like, our own internal value, potential, worth, what we can do, who we can become if we can only release ourselves from, you know, the people that don't believe in us, or the people that have held us back, or the situations that are not a match for us, or, you know, that which just does not fit us anymore, or that which we are realizing was never real or was never true. That's another dimension of this energy as well, like having to wake up to a lot of harsh truths that are left when the illusions of the reality we thought we may have been living in just break away, wash away, and fall down in this energy as well. No fear, okay? Energy is showing us our weaknesses, showing us what we need to work on so that we can do better, so that we can harden ourselves, so that we can have more self-discipline and have more self-control and set ourselves up for greater and longer lasting success going forward. And with the Virgo Pisces energies, well, I've also been talking about this, and like I said, you know, all about reframing and restructuring our mind, our perspectives, and our thought processes in a way that is more conducive to our success and less conducive to us being held in some type of an illusion of. Also, victimhood can be very much associated with the Pisces energy, Virgo energy as well. This is also us releasing ourselves from previous states of victimhood, or people that may have kept us in states of victimhood as well, that were preventing us from recognizing our power, from taking our power back and moving forward along the lines of activating destiny and fulfilling this personal mission. So, you know, restabilizing our beliefs, our spiritual understanding in a way that is satisfying us, also filling us up, okay, on the more emotional and intuitive levels with the Moon Saturn conjunction as well. Establishing or reestablishing with all the retrograde energy, spiritual connection as the foundation of our reality, surrendering the burden, trusting the process, trusting the plan. I'm telling you guys, in the midst of all that's playing out right now and all this uncertainty and all this craziness with all this Uranus energy, that is the golden ticket right there. In terms of the symbolism that's coming through for this full moon, it's, you know, it's all about kind of like heeding the call, doing things a new way, changing things, being willing to try something new at this point in time as well, detaching ourselves from the past, standing up for what we believe in and being willing to like take back what is ours, okay? The position of the sun, 8 degrees of Virgo, that Sabian symbol is a girl takes her first dancing instructions, trying something new, maybe doing something for the first time, venturing out, putting ourselves in a, you know, this is this Uranus energy as well, in a different situation that maybe perhaps we've been used to in the past. But again, this new beginning type of energy, North Node in the sign of Aries, this is the era for change, right? And then the position of the moon, 8 degrees of the sign of Pisces. That Sabian symbol is a girl blowing a bugle, okay? So we are, like I said, we are heeding the call of something. This is either a wake-up call or a call that has been, you know, calling us from deep inside, or, you know, something that we are becoming aware of that is, you know, pushing us to take this first step towards something, to try something new, to be like an instigator of change somehow. So I found, and that's also just like, it reminds me of the Judgment card in tarot. And we're talking about a new moon cycle that was square Uranus, and Uranus just stationing retrograde, some type of wake-up call going on that is pulling us towards something new, okay? We've got Mercury ruling the position of the sun right now, retrograde, 20 degrees of Virgo, a caravan of cars headed to promised lands. Things are working in our favor, you guys. We are moving in the right direction. We just... things might be proceeding slowly at this point in time because we really need to look back. We need to, you know, gain some wisdom from the past. We need to rethink, reevaluate, you know, we need to maybe like close something out. There's something, the past is relevant somehow, and there may be just, it may be causing some delays to our progress, but we are definitely moving forward, and where we are moving to is a positive direction for us, okay? We've also got Mars at 3 degrees of Libra. The dawn of a new day reveals everything change, so much change energy that we have playing out right now. Jupiter, 16 degrees of Taurus, an old teacher fails to interest his students in traditional knowledge. More of this energy about like moving on from the past, ready to embrace something new. The position of Saturn, 4 degrees of Pisces, that Sabian symbol is heavy traffic on a narrow isthmus linking 2 seaside resorts. We're going from, you know, one thing to another. This is like a bridge, right? This is kind of, I'm seeing this as like a transitional period of time where it's congested. Like a lot of people are moving in this direction from, you know, maybe one perspective or one belief or, you know, one understanding to something totally different, or maybe even like a polar oppositional mindset or mental frame somehow with all this Virgo energy. So there's just a lot. Okay, and then we've got the North Node, 26 Aries right now, a man possessed of more gifts than he can hold. So again, like, this is all about awakening to the truth of our value, the truth of our potential, the truth of our worth, you know, our own gifts, our own talents, what we can do with them, what we can cultivate, you know, and how valuable and special they really are, and how this sets us forth, how this activates this personal mission within us, and or this desire to do something new, or desire to go in a new direction, this just new era of personal self-expression and experience that we are coming that's coming into fruition over this next year and a half. So, you know, lots of symbolism playing out, I feel like, you know. And then of course Uranus, 24 degrees of Taurus right now, an Indian warrior riding fiercely, human scalps hanging from his belt. So, you know, we're showing no mercy in a lot of cases in terms of like taking back what we feel is rightfully ours, but it's also what is necessary at this point in time to break us free from the control structures of the past, or the conformity of the past that was limiting our potential, limiting our purpose, or not even limiting our purpose, like limiting our potential, and therefore like stagnating or suffocating our purpose. Universe is in a process of expansion and growth right now as we transition to the age of Aquarius. Universe needs all of us to play our role in that process. Universe via Uranus is initiating a cosmic reconstruction right now. Anything that is blocking progress, anything that is out of alignment with the trajectory to this, you know, this authentic growth right now, or, you know, the changes, like I always say about Uranus, the changes that we haven't been able to make for ourselves, but that need to happen in order so this process can take place. That is what is being facilitated through this energy and through the process of our cosmic blueprint and the transits that are unfolding right now. So again, you guys, have faith, trust the plan. Everything is going to be okay. Things are not as bad as they seem. Don't fear the past, okay? Don't, you know, we need to not manifest our fears, okay, through getting so caught up in things that have happened in the past, and, you know, being afraid of the past repeating, that we, you know, energetically actually assist in that process. The best thing that we can do, again, surrender the burdens, take good care of ourselves, take responsibility for our own well-being, okay? Get rest, diet, nutrition, supplements, exercise, our lifestyles and routines and habits, making sure that we are taking the best care of our physical bodies that we can as we move through this period of time, and taking personal responsibility for our own health and well-being. This is also going to be very beneficial for us, and in terms of our own sense of self-empowerment, as well as we move through the rest of the summer and the month of September and into October. So that's what I'm going to say today, you guys, in terms of our full moon energy as it's coming together. Quite a powerful cycle. I mean, Saturn really does give us a very strong ability to put work into things and to focus. And it's a very constructive energy if we can get out of our own way, and if we cannot view everything through the most negative possible lens. Okay, so that's what I'm saying about this full moon. Let's grab some guidance now. I'm going to get a synchronicity card for us. God, Spirit, Universe, what should we keep in mind as we go through this full moon, as we're in this Saturn energy? What do we need to know? And of course, it says count on God. Divine intervention is also, you know, like I see personally in my experience with Uranus, the North Node has a lot to do with divine intervention and destiny in the hand of God. But because Uranus is also so associated with the authentic potential and, you know, removing obstructions and fixing things that are out of alignment and making changes, I always like making like changes in order so that like destiny and potential can come into fruition. I also always see Uranus as very much indicative of divine intervention underway as well. And so, you know, we're in the season of divine intervention, and with Uranus, you know, it's expect the unexpected energy. Usually that type of thing happens in the most miraculous and unexpected and unimaginable ways. And that's the same type of vibe that we're dealing with Uranus energy. And Uranus energy also brings blessings in disguise. A lot of times when Uranus is operating, we don't realize that, you know, what is happening is actually going to be so good for us moving forward because of the level of chaos and like discomfort and, you know, fear a lot of times that it can bring up in the moment. It is the lightning striking the tower energy, but it's like the lightning, the divine intervention that comes down and breaks the tower so that we can be free. And then through that process of liberation in one way or another, we are able to regain this inspiration and this divine connection and this sense of like trust. We will generally always come to find that whatever happened was definitely in our best interest. So all right, let's read this card. Count on God, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Psalms 1:3. You will prosper. You will grow and expand. The law of attraction is now working for you, and you attract all those who will help you in reaching your goals spiritually and materially. Spiritually and materially, that is Saturn in the sign of Pisces. Saturn at 333 of Pisces. Again, this is talking about groups and like comrades and people working together, like minds united to like along a creative purpose or in a creative endeavor somehow. You will attract all those who will help you in reaching your goals spiritually and materially. We just need to have faith. Things are being recalibrated right now. That which there is no loss in divine mind, okay? That which is falling away right now, that which may feel like a loss in this moment will be replaced with, you know, something that is of equal significance or value or greater significance or value or fulfillment moving forward. So no fear. We are, you know, letting go of what universe is taking right now, and we are opening to receive that which will come in as a replacement that is going to be in a better alignment for us moving forward. So that's what I got to say, you guys. Count on God. And that's how I feel like this full moon is coming together. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. You guys share it with your friends if you think they would like this type of content as well. Leave me comments. So grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for being here. I really value your comments. I love knowing how this energy is affecting you. If you're having experiences that line up with what I'm talking about in these videos, please let me know in my comment section below. I also have a Facebook group, a Facebook page, an Instagram page that are in my description box. If you want to know what's on these whiteboards in its totality, I take a picture of those and post them in my Facebook group. So that's where you can find that. And come back with me on Friday, you guys. Friday, we've got another important video. That's going to be the September overview. We are going to look at the month of September day by day, week by week, and try to get an idea of what's coming at us over the next 30 days. So I will be here. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. And I will see you then, guys. Have a beautiful full moon in Pisces. And until next time, bye.